The Kansas City Chiefs stepped onto the field with hopes of making history, aiming to become the first team to win 3 straight Super Bowls. But what happened next left everyone stunned, a crushing 40-22 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. And if anyone still believed the theory that the NFL favors the Chiefs, this game was a brutal wake-up call. Patrick Mahomes had one of the toughest games of his career, the officiating was highly controversial, and now the Chiefs' front office is already making moves to turn things around. But could this first move hint at a future without one of the team's biggest stars? Stay tuned, there's a lot happening behind the scenes. Don't forget to like this video, and let's get into it. For those who claimed that the league was rigged for Kansas City, Super Bowl 59 completely shattered that theory. Many believed that the Chiefs got favorable calls throughout the season, but Sunday's game told a different story. Mahomes and company found themselves on the wrong side of some highly questionable officiating decisions. One of the most glaring moments came in the fourth quarter when defensive tackle Milton Williams forced a fumble on Mahomes. Right after, Eagles defensive lineman Jalen Carter grabbed Mahomes' face mask with both hands and violently threw him to the ground, yet no flag was thrown. Mike Florio of NBC Sports pointed this out, questioning how head referee Ron Torbert could have missed it despite looking directly at the play. According to the NFL rulebook, this kind of play must be penalized, even if there's doubt about the severity of contact. Florio argued that the league should implement a real-time review system where an officiating team member could assist on-field refs using broadcast footage. Sounds like a no-brainer, right? But at the end of the day, that missed call didn't change the outcome. The Eagles dominated because they were simply the better team that night. So, where does Kansas City go from here? Was this just an off night, or is it a sign that major changes are needed? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And speaking of changes, the Chiefs are already making moves. Just days after the season ended in heartbreak, the team signed tight end Anthony Firkser to the practice squad. At first glance, this may not seem like a major move, but with Travis Kelce nearing the end of his legendary career, any addition at tight end raises eyebrows. At 35 years old, Kelce remains one of the best in the league, but retirement rumors are swirling. Meanwhile, Kansas City is preparing for the future. Firkser has bounced around the NFL since entering the league in 2017, playing for the Jets, Titans, Falcons, Patriots, and Lions. Interestingly, he had a brief stint with the Chiefs back in 2017, also on the practice squad. Now, he's back for another shot. Throughout his career, Firkser has recorded 115 receptions for 1,207 yards and 5 touchdowns. Solid numbers for a player who has never been a full-time starter, but could provide depth at a critical position. Is Kansas City quietly preparing for life after Kelce? During the Super Bowl, Kelce had a relatively quiet night, catching only 4 passes for 39 yards. Over the regular season, he totaled 823 yards and 3 touchdowns on 97 receptions. While this move alone won't redefine the franchise, it's clear that the Chiefs are thinking ahead. Let's dive deeper into what went so horribly wrong for the Chiefs in Super Bowl 59. From the opening minutes, it was obvious that things weren't clicking. The offense looked lost, the defense was getting run over, and the Eagles played with relentless energy. Before fans could even process what was happening, Philadelphia had jumped out to a 24-0 lead. Meanwhile, Kansas City's offense looked sluggish, lacking creativity and failing to move the chains. Mahomes struggled to find his targets, the offensive line collapsed under pressure, and mistakes kept piling up. Fumbles, sacks, and even a disastrous interception that completely shifted the momentum of the game. If there's one thing we rarely see, it's Patrick Mahomes looking uncomfortable. But this time, number 15 appeared shaken. In just 2 quarters, he was sacked 3 times and constantly forced out of the pocket. When he did get throws off, they were often inaccurate, partly due to the overwhelming pressure from the Eagles' defense. The most crushing moment? A brutal interception. Trying to connect with rookie wide receiver Rashee Rice, Mahomes ended up throwing the ball directly into the hands of Eagles rookie Cooper DeJean, who returned it for a defensive touchdown. Chiefs fans in the stadium fell into stunned silence. It was a gut punch. Social media erupted. Comparisons to Tom Brady's worst Super Bowl performance flooded in, and many questioned whether this was the worst game of Mahomes' career. While the offense floundered, the defense struggled just as much. Jalen Hurts played like an MVP, finding his targets with ease. In the second quarter, he delivered a perfect strike to A.J. Brown in the end zone, further increasing the Eagles' lead. Chiefs' defensive backs looked lost, allowing easy completions all over the field. And then, déjà vu. At the 1-yard line, Hurts executed a QB sneak for another touchdown, the same play that haunted Kansas City back in Super Bowl 57. Defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo tried adjusting, but nothing worked. The Chiefs simply had no answer for the Eagles' high-powered offense. If Chiefs Kingdom was already worried, what happened next only added fuel to the fire. After a controversial personal foul on Nick Bolton, Spagnuolo exploded on the sideline. Furious over the officiating inconsistency, he was caught on camera shouting in frustration before burying his face in his hands, a visual representation of every Chiefs fan's emotions at that moment. We've seen Kansas City pull off miracles before. In Super Bowl 54, they trailed by 10 points in the fourth quarter against the 49ers and still managed to win. But this time, the hole felt deeper. The offense needed to wake up, the defense needed stops, and Mahomes had to rediscover his magic. What did Andy Reid and Mahomes discuss in the locker room? Could they come back with a new strategy in the second half? Now, I turn to you, Chiefs fans. Do you still believe in a comeback, or was this Super Bowl a lost cause? Comment below, and let's discuss. And don't forget, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your fellow Chiefs fans. The off-season is just getting started, and Kansas City has major decisions ahead. Let's see what happens next. Let's go, Chiefs!